What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. This one, perhaps the biggest one of the year, Premier League predictions 2025/26. The one that, probably the hardest, not hardest, but the most controversial perhaps, because everyone kind of thinks that they're right. And we won't know until May, and I can react to these predictions in May and see how good I was or not. But look, pretty easy concept. 20th to first, I'll say where I think each team's going to finish. I'll say a bit about why I think they're going to finish there, and then you can let me know if you agree with me or not. Anyway, first up, 20th place. I've gone with Burnley. Um, well, there's not much to say about Burnley, to be honest. They've just come up from the Championship, which means they're already at a disadvantage. They haven't made apart from like Kyle Walker's their only real big signing, but he's a bit washed. Like they haven't really made any signings that are like, wow, that's going to keep them up, in my opinion. And based on the last few seasons, if you come up, you're going straight back down. So I've put Burnley in last place for them. 19th place, a similar story, really. I've put Leeds. A lot of people fancying them to stay up. I just don't think it will be happening, to be honest. They haven't made, they've made a few signings. Nothing's really amazed me. And yeah, I just don't think they'll stay up, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, 18th place. But maybe this one is probably one of the most controversial and outlandish predictions, perhaps. I've gone with Brentford getting relegated. I also said this last season, which was a bad prediction, but this season I've got a lot more reasoning, all right? Lost their manager and a lot of their backroom staff. Lost Mbeumo, their best player. Lost Flecken, their goalkeeper. Lost possibly losing Wissa as well, who's the best player now. Mbeumo's gone. They've signed Jordan Henderson. That's cool. And their new manager was like their set piece coach or something with no actual managing experience. So Brentford, I'm saying it, they could go down this season. 17th place, the team that was alternating with Brentford. It's Sunderland, obviously, also just came up. They have made quite a few good signings, except when AFCON happens, they are cooked. Unless they like apply for exemptions or something, which I think is possible. But look, Sunderland, I think they might have done enough. They've just signed Granit Xhaka, so that's cool. And yeah, they actually could stay up here. I think they're the only promoted team with a real chance of it. And yeah, if they do stay up, then I'm going to be a genius. So hopefully they do. It's also good for the league to have Sunderland, and we need another good derby in there. Whereas Leeds and Burnley, like they're one city clubs, so they don't have a massive rivalry with it. Like I know Sunderland's different city to Newcastle, but they're right next to each other. Right, Leeds, I guess they have like their Yorkshire rivalries and whatnot, but no one actually cares. I mean, come on. And plus, if Leeds and Burnley, similar parts of the country, they can go down together and play in the Championship next season. 16th place. I've gone with Wolves. Not too convinced on Wolves. Obviously, they've lost Cunha, their best player. And yeah, they were okay last season. They had a bit of redemption second half of the year, but yeah, they did just lose their best player Cunha to Man United, so might be a rough one for them. 15th place is West Ham, another team that honestly they might have a chance of going down. West Ham have not done anything. They do not look great under Graham Potter. They've signed Kyle Walker Peters, so that's cool. But yeah, West Ham they're just not looking great. And honestly, they probably in hindsight they should have kept David Moyes. 14th place, something a lot of people might disagree with. I've actually gone with Manchester United finishing 14th place. I know things is crazy, but what have they proved that they'll do better? Yes, they've signed Cunha and Mbeumo, right? But two new players. I know they're improving in a new team. Cunha, we've already seen he's got some attitude problems. I mean, he got suspended like 4 times last season. And Mbeumo's a good player, but I mean, who's he going to flip and link up with? Hoyland, right? And I mean, they might be losing Garnacho, which obviously is a big loss. Rashford's gone as well. And yeah, I'm just not very convinced with Man United, and I don't see them doing that well this season, honestly. Like, there's a lot of things wrong with that club, and I think they should just do a whole clear out. And just spending 70 million on new players isn't necessarily the best way to go about it. 13th place, I've gone with Everton. David Moyes above two of his former clubs here. Actually, three, Sunderland as well. Um, but, I mean, Everton, they were looking pretty good end of last season. And, new stadium, new vibe. They've lost Calvert Lewin, obviously. That's not a massive loss. And yeah, I mean, Everton, they could easily have a good season here. 13th place. I mean, it's not a great season, but it's good enough. Nowhere near relegation. Then they can move on, try and push for top half in the following few seasons. 12th place, the most obvious one of the video, Crystal Palace. They finished 12th like every year, and I never predict them 12th, so I'm just going to predict them 12th because they obviously do have European football, which will be a bit of a distraction. Obviously, they'll be focusing probably a bit on that, especially if they make the knockouts because it's European football for Crystal Palace. And the 12th, like, they should be able to make 12th pretty easily. I mean, if they do go out early in Europe, I think their Premier League finish will actually improve because obviously they'll have less games. But I think in the Conference League as well, they could make it pretty deep, quarterfinal, semi-final, maybe even win it. Like, they have a good chance of making it deep, which will probably harm their Premier League form a bit. 11th place, it is Fulham. Fulham, pretty consistent team, to be honest. Like, they're a decent team. They're not going to go, like, challenge for Europe, I don't think, but they're going to be pretty mid-table. They're always somewhere between 8th and 12th, the last few years at least, so that's why I've put Fulham there. 10th place, a bit of a downfall. I've gone with Nottingham Forest. Obviously, they have lost Elanga, but they didn't lose Gibbs White after some dodgy stuff going on there. I'm not really sure what's happening, probably being held at gunpoint, but, is what it is. But yeah, they've also got European football, and the Europa League, which is tougher than Conference League. So that'll have an effect on them. Obviously, lost Elanga, one of their crucial players from last season. And yeah, I think they'll get figured out a bit more possibly. And with European football as well, they'll probably fall off a bit. And I think some of the other teams will just be a bit better this season as well, unlike last season. 9th place, I've gone with Bournemouth. Now, Bournemouth, they actually haven't lost too many players. They lost Dean Huijsen to Real Madrid, and they lost Kepa obviously, but they signed Petrovic from Chelsea. And they haven't lost too many of their good players. Obviously, no Europe for distractions. And I think they could easily finish in 9th place pretty comfortably as well. Bournemouth, they're looking good, honestly, as a team. They could push for Europe as well. 8th place, I've gone with Spurs. Obviously, got Thomas Frank now, and I do think they'll do a lot better than they did last season. But they do have Champions League football, so obviously that will probably take priority. But they will probably go out in the group stage, which will mean that they have more time to focus on the Premier League in the second half of the season at least. But yeah, I think 8th place is realistic for Spurs. They made a few signings. I mean, they signed Kudus, um, and they've got Thomas Franken, obviously, who I think is a pretty good manager. So I think they could finish 8th place. 7th place, I've gone with Brighton. Now, this one, I was torn where to put Brighton. Like, they might just have a really bad season, or they could have a good season. Like, I'm not really sure about Brighton. I think they could finish 7th, though, in my opinion. Like, 7th is not unreachable for Brighton, and that would mean European football. And I think, especially with other teams around them having European football and them solely focusing on the Premier League, they could make 7th place. 6th place, Aston Villa. I wasn't really sure about where to put Villa. Obviously, that I thought they were going to lose Martinez. Seems he's staying now. Obviously, they don't have Rashford or Asensio now. But 6th place, I think Villa could finish 6th place. They've got European football as well, Europa League, I believe. And yeah, so they could easily finish there. 5th place, I've gone with Newcastle, same as last year. As I'm recording this, Isak hasn't left yet, and there's talks that Liverpool don't want to bid anymore, so he might be staying. I'm not really sure what they'll do, but they have signed Elanga. Everyone else has kind of rejected them. They might be getting Ramsdale as well, but I guess he'll be the number one because he's probably better than Pope. So yeah, Newcastle Champions League again. This is especially if they keep Isak or if they replace him with a semi-competent striker. Because I mean, who could they replace him with? Sesko maybe, but I'm not sure about that. Because Ekatike, he's gone to Liverpool. They could bring back Callum Wilson. That could be a shout. No, I'm joking. Obviously not. 4th place, I've gone with Arsenal. The downfall is starting now. All right, Arsenal. Yes, they finally did sign their striker. It is Gyökeres, but who cares? He's washed. I don't know. He did only do it in Portugal. Let's be real here. There's no proof he's going to be amazing. I just personally don't think Arsenal are going to be that great. I mean, they've done it for a few seasons. Surely they go all in on the Champions League now, right? I just don't think they're going to do that good in the Premier League either. They've got to win a trophy, so they've got to focus on the Champions League or one of the cups, all right? They can't be focusing on the league. They need to make a good cup run in probably the FA Cup, because if they win the Carabao Cup, no one actually cares. So the FA Cup or Champions League need to be their focuses, not the Premier League. And Gyökeres, I'm not convinced he's actually going to be that good. I might be saying I'm gonna look back on this think I'm an absolute idiot, but you never know. Okay, he's not proven himself in the Premier. All right, and an injury or two could derail Arsenal's whole season, right? And we know what their injury record is, so you never know. Third place, call me biased, I don't care. World champions Chelsea. Third place, where we belong. Not, I think, sort of in the title race, not quite. Maybe 10 points off first place, something like that, 10 to 15. We're in the title race, but we're not completely out of it. Top three back again. Chelsea looking strong. Obviously, just won the Club World Cup. Good signings: João Pedro, Delap, Bino Gittins. Not really any major losses. And hopefully Reece James can stay fit, Cole Palmer stay fit. Hopefully Chelsea don't sign Garnacho. That might be the worst. Please don't sign Garnacho. Honestly, what's the point? Get rid of Noni Madueke and then signing Garnacho. What's the point? Madueke is clearly better. I don't want Garnacho. Please don't sign him. But yeah, third place for Chelsea. Second place, I've gone with Man City. Returned to the top, but not quite. They obviously made a few good signings, like Nuri Cherki, Ryan Diaz. Few decent signings. I think they'll obviously not be as bad as last year. They should finish top two. Closest title race, I believe they will have with the eventual winners, which is obviously going to be Liverpool in first place. They made about 10 billion new signings. If they do get Isak, that's crazy. I don't think they will. They've got Ekatike, Verts, Kirkes, Frimpong. They've got everyone. And honestly, I think Liverpool, they should be able to win the league again this year. And if they don't, it'll be a bit of a failure because they won it last year. They've got a far better team this year, I believe. And they've got some nice Adidas kits as well to do it. Anyway, that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you agree with me. And we'll revisit these in May when we see that I was eventually right about every single